Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here to attend our group's presentation in DID. Today, I'm talking about systematic literature review that I conducted for the purpose of this book, and we already submitted this book for Routledge, and maybe after a couple of months, this book is coming out. This is about digital inequality in media education in South Asia, context and consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. So along with me, Padma Rani is here, and the another co-editor, and Kulveer is not here. So this is not the exact cover because Routledge imposes their own already prepared covers. So this is just a sample. But this article, what I'm presenting here, is a part of this book. So we are focusing on South Asia here, but in the systematic literature review, we are reviewing the global literature. So how exactly media education was affected during the pandemic, and if there are some studies already done across the world to see the consequences, lesson learning, and impacts of the digital divide. And so the context is again, absolutely the COVID-19 pandemic is the main context. And then we are looking for the post-secondary education only. So we're not going for the secondary level impact because of our study limitations. And then in media education, we are covering journalism, media, communication studies, and related stuff. So we are trying to use a single term media education, but it is going across different variants of media education. And transition of physical classroom to virtual platform. This is the context that how the stakeholders of media education had been experienced these kind of technical difficulties and educational skills related difficulties. And we are also wanted to know about the e-readiness of these SEI, higher education institutions. And we wanted to learn the challenges and consequences, as well as the best practices and lesson learned out of that unprecedented pandemic situation. And my assumption was, because media, journalism, communication are more practical stuff, and because I'm as a professor of media communication at University of Ottawa, when we wanted to send them some field work to collect some information, to observe some idea, bring data, and work in a team. And during the pandemic, what we experienced, we are not doing anything. Even teacher is inside the room alone, and students are somewhere there. And by the end of the 2022 and the early 2023, we started hybrid classes. And while I used to go there in the auditorium of 150 students, sometimes just one student, sometimes no student, all virtually connected to study, but teacher is there because teacher is forced to be in the classroom. So we saw that, and then we really experienced personally or in our group of teachers that media education is not heading in the right direction to obtain the right outcome. So in that sense, I studied this to better understand what all the schools and other higher secondary institutions they're working. And my assumption is media education might have been disproportionately affected due to its reliance on technology, field visits, teamwork, and the hands-on nature of journalism studies. So this was the assumption, and here are some objectives to understand the specific challenges, to eliminate the effects of digital divide, how it is affecting media education during that, and to understand the experiences, lesson learned, and best practices. I'm not going to explain a lot because this is a digital divide group, so everybody knows it, right? So during the 90s, more access-focused studies were there, definition, conceptual understanding were there, and in 2010s, the 10 years period, the second decade, more about the skill and usage divide, and it is a little expanded. And after 2010, it's a socioeconomic, sociocultural divide. And after 2020, after COVID-19 pandemic, my previous colleagues said, okay, AI, this is the fourth. So we can claim it and we can study and further explore, because everything is evolving. Maybe this can be fourth or even more than that. And so this is the same thing. This was actually I found in Wei et al.'s one paper, individual, organizational, global access divide, usage or capability divide, and outcome divide. So different scholars have identified, classified, categorized this thing in a different way. So we can understand it's in a light of multiple literature, multiple concepts. And here, what I did, I tried to use the database, and my limitations also you can see here. So these are the booleans I used: education, pedagogy, COVID-19, digital divide, or digital gap, or digital disparities, media, journalism, communication. So these are the booleans, or and mean the optional words and compulsory words. So you can understand those. And published in 2020 March to 2024 February, 4 years. And then scholarly academic articles only, peer reviewed only, full text only, English only. These are my strengths and limitations, whatever you can say. And here I use the database ProQuest, where I found 67 articles on that. Scopus 37, Web of Science 48. And I try to use Schabram, Okoli and Schabram's the SLR review model, and in this model you can go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So this is the process of how we can collect, select, and process the data. Here you can see further more. Like I found 132, and then the Schabram, the Okoli and Schabram's model. It's a detailed model, it's around 45 pages. So when we have to read thoroughly a lot, so then we understand it better. It's like a Prisma model, but it's even more detailed than Prisma model. And here you can see 3 databases, 132 articles, as I showed already, which are the 3 databases. And the article Okoli and Schabram, they recommend to go some more additional database to see if there is something else. So I went other 3 databases and I didn't find the new articles, number 1. And I used AI tools to see if there is something new available through that, because this is something new tool. So I'm coming back here. This time I'm experimenting with SLR using AI tools, systematic literature review, how AI tools can be useful for us to do this kind of study. And I used ChatGPT 4 version, and then it showed 5 articles. However, what happens? 3 articles were already duplicated because they were already reviewed, and 2 articles were just fabricated, nothing. So AI tool didn't contribute significantly anything. So 2 articles were not found. This is just the cooked up type of thing. 3 articles were already duplicated, so they were removed. So altogether 132 articles, and out of them, because 3 databases were used, ProQuest, Scopus, and Web of Science, and out of that, we can see 37 were repeated. So remove them, and new additional database didn't give anything new, so it's 0. And then AI suggested article not found, and 2 were just cooked up, and so no contribution at all. So out of 1995, and again article excluded after screening of abstracts and keywords based on the objectives of the research, and so I removed all those because they were not very much relevant. And articles selected after quality appraisals again reduction in another round, and article excluded and they didn't meet the inclusion and quality criteria in 19. Finally, 25 articles. So this is the review of 25 articles selected from 132 articles. So this selection process is really rigorous and time-taking. And here, identification, screening, and selection. And here is another steps also that I didn't show here, but it's the execution, means writing, collecting key ideas. Here you can see the selection only, but here you can see execution, means article analysis, finding, selecting keywords, and again trying to write, analyze. So this is the process. This is just literature review. And then what I found out of this 25 articles. So 11 articles were more focused on qualitative, and these were the articles, and 8 quantitative, and rest mixed methods. And AI tools I used during the whole process. ChatGPT to explore scholarly articles, and I found 5, and 3 already repeated, 2 cooked up, so no more use. And illuminate.org, have you used this one? No. Illuminate.org is good to classify information in the scholarly data, but it is too expensive. I paid $12 just for 1 month subscription. And when I put all 25 articles and try to dissect the different columns, within an hour it says, oh, your money finished, need more money. And so I was bound to add more money until I find some of the answers of my research questions, right? So even though it says a 1 month subscription, if you try to use some more data there, then the money is consumed right away. And so this is too expensive. And my university has not subscribed yet any of the AI tools, so we are forcing university to subscribe at least this kind of stuff. And this kind of stuff, every student has this. 3.5 is free version, now 4 and 4.0 is coming, very latest. I have a paid subscription of this 4 right now, because this 3.5 is free, and I paid some money for the 4 version to see if 3.5 and 4 is generating a different reason, but results were same. And so finally, I use this chat PDF, both free and paid versions, because free version has the limits of the 10 articles only. And I had 25 articles, and I wanted to put all the articles together and want to see the connection. But it didn't do the good thing. I tried, I paid, and I experimented, and okay, yes, it is not connecting properly. When it gave me some of the responses, later and I tried to see whether because it shows the page numbers too, and whether the page numbers are giving some the right ideas what it is suggesting, and I found this is mismatch and it's not working properly. So I removed the responses and suggestions of this one, but I followed some of the suggestions of this guy. And finally, human oversight is necessary to ensure accuracy and precision of AI tools. This is my understanding out of this process. And key findings. So usually whenever somebody is writing the experience of COVID-19 pandemic, they definitely talk about these 3 things: impact, and challenges, and then strategy, even though sometimes they are overriding each other. So how the impact from transitioning from physical classroom to virtual platform, and experiencing by teachers, experiencing by students, experiencing by SEIs, higher education institutions, or other stakeholders, even parents too. So this is the one titles of the finding, one category. Another theme is challenging, another strategy. I will talk about this. And here, methodological approaches I already showed you the qualitative, quantitative, and some other kind of methods, and coverage of the growth. I will show you some of the pictures. Here, what I did. When I used Elicit, I asked Elicit to figure out the research questions of all 25 articles. And Elicit figured out all the 25 article research questions. I rechecked the research questions, and I put them in the research, this work cloud visual to visualize the idea, what is the focus of this all 25 research questions. Focus is in education, and focus is more students during the pandemic. Media journalism is somewhere here. Not much focused. What I was looking for is not focused. What is something is more focused on, and COVID. And here, this is the map. So out of these 25 articles, 4 articles from the United States, 4 articles from India, because these articles based on these particular studies, 3 from Russia, and 2 from South Africa and Ecuador, and the rest, blue, 1 article. So this is the coverage, so we can understand whether it gives some kind of global picture or not. And then out of this 25, 16 articles explicitly talks about the impact, and they talk about the challenging scenarios when migrating from physical to virtual setting, and what is the impact of this kind of transition in the quality of education, and how existing digital inequalities further widen the gap of the educational understanding or outcomes, you can say. Low performance expectancy and high efforts expectancy. This is interesting. A lot of work and a limited outcome, and not active engagement, and drop in the quality of teaching. Students further victimized due to limited knowledge of their educators, limited infrastructures of the HEI. So they are the super victim out of everything. So this is the understanding of this SLR. And challenges, 17 articles talk explicitly more on the challenges, and then higher education institutions, they suffer because of the poor infrastructures, unprepared for sudden shift, and limited technical support to students, lecturers, teachers, and it depends on countrywide. Different country, different institution, different kind of arrangements. And students, long teaching hours, virtual sitting, too lazy experience, unable to monitor virtually. This is by teachers, especially during the exam time, and how students are using, and because maybe they are using some AI tools or something else and nobody knows, and limited ability to participate in remote learning because they don't know how to use ICT devices properly. And some software, they are more tricky. And teachers increased workloads, inadequate training, and no motivation. Why they are doing all those things? To receive the same salary? Question. It's not for me though. I'm not here. So strategies now. 16 out of 25 articles talk about the strategy, and some of the studies they say, based on their findings, institutions gradually started increasing the support to help teachers and students to make the engagement more meaningful, familiarizing teachers, students, and technology-mediated environment. So this is, for example, in my case, this is not here. In my case, I was so much nervous how to do this hybrid session. Somebody in the classroom, somebody is outside, and moving technology across class together. And I asked one TA. All right, okay. Not saying this. I will tell you that. So working to increase students' proficiency in remote learning, and applying innovative teaching methods such as community-oriented reporting, social media-based information source, radio program instead of this virtual setting, and redesigning pedagogy for online platform to fit this hybrid model. And these are out of these 25, only 5 articles are wholly focused on media. Just journalism students, they're media students. Others mixed. Other rest of the 20 articles were using media students along with other humanities students, science students, other students. But these 5 full focus on media students. And best practices, innovative teaching methods, some examples here, and realization of increased institutional support, instant action to increase digital proficiency of teachers, initiative on promoting media literacy skills, familiarize students in remote learning, and investment on curricular development for fitting in virtual classes. And final thirds, so these are, I believe they are reflected already. Most important is this: AI tools are not fully reliable, handle with care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next